Yo, what's good, guys? Frankie Forsyth back here, and this one's gonna be on why is everybody chasing validation? And it's really like it all has to do with the person. It all has to do with their past, their experiences, because you will get the occasional person like myself, maybe like some of you guys that watch my channel, that don't chase validation, and clearly that's the optimal path. But you have a lot of people today, they just want to fit in, and they'll never fully feel like they fit in. And that's a big problem, because that takes up so much of your life that could be used living life for what it really is. Fitting in with society is such a small portion of life, and I don't know about you guys, but the way society is going today, I don't really have any interest in fitting in. It's just a clown show, really, at the end of the day, because everybody wants to chase pleasure today, whether you're partying every day, going to the bars every day, or whether it's just on the weekend. Everybody's just chasing pleasure, whenever they can. And honestly, that's a big reason a lot of men are having sex with women that they really don't want to be having sex with, because they feel like something is wrong with them if they're not having sex with a woman. They're not being intimate with a woman in any type of way. They feel like something is wrong with them. And society makes it out to be this way for reasons that we'll probably get to in another video as we put the pieces of the puzzle together. But for now, we need to talk about, why do people need to feel validated? And for the majority of people, this will go back to high school, middle school, even maybe even before that, elementary school, possibly college for some people. But if you really think about it, in your high school, there wasn't a very large group of popular kids, you know? There wasn't a very large group of popular kids even in middle school or elementary school. It's kind of just like a select group of people that are considered popular, or, I mean, what does that term even mean? I mean, it really means nothing to me, but in a general sense, it just means attractive, both physically, mentally, and spiritually, I guess. People like your personality, and you just fit in with all the other like right people, I guess. And so if the group of popular people, or whatever, that's what we'll call it for now, if that group is very small in high school, middle school, and so on, then, and we'll count college in there too, then there are a lot of people who feel like they're not popular, or feel like they want to fit in somewhere where they don't fit in, somewhere that was never meant for them. Because the popular people, they're just all meant for each other, because they're usually social people, maybe play sports, outgoing, extroverted, in general. Now, what nobody tells you I mean, obviously your peers aren't going to tell this to you either in high school and middle school and whatnot, but in general, everybody has their own group, and that group is meant for them because you share interests or you share the same personality qualities and characteristics and interests and so forth. But everybody feels like they're missing out. Everybody feels like, what would happen if I was in another group? What would happen if I was here? What would happen if I was there? What would happen if I was friends with these people instead of what I'm doing now? And I mean, the truth is, you are missing out, but are you missing out on anything that is of value? Are you missing out on anything that is worth your time? I don't know, to tell you the truth, because I don't know what you're pondering, but I can tell you from having been in almost every type of friend group you can imagine. I've been with the popular kids. A lot of people used to say in middle school I was the most popular kid in the school, and I remember this one time because after middle school and high school, like in the beginning of high school, I basically just became an introvert after I kind of just started to see how people really were. Friends would stab me in the back and whatnot. I remember this one kid in my homeroom, he said to me, "Frank, you used to be like the most popular kid in the school." In middle school, he was talking about, he was like, "Frank, you used to be the most popular kid in the school. What happened?" And I said two words to him: people change. People change. And I meant a lot of things by that. People changed around me, and I also changed. I had to change because of that, because I saw how people really were. I saw how people really were, so that made me change. People always change. Just because someone's popular one year doesn't mean they're going to be in the same crowd the next year. Doesn't mean much of anything at the end of the day anyways. All it really means is that they wanted to be there, so they were there. If you try hard enough, you can really get into any type of friend group you want to. And that's what I did. I explored a whole different bunch of friend groups. Like I said, I was with the popular kids. I used to play all kinds of sports. I used to play basketball. I played a little football, wrestling. And after that, I was basically in a friend group of people who played video games and people who were good at school, nerds. But then again, it was only like a few people. I don't get along with a lot of people, so in high school, it was really like I only had like a few good friends, because all the popular kids, I just saw it for what it was, so I left that behind. And they really didn't like me after that. Like, they wouldn't talk to me at all, because, I don't know, I guess they just matched my energy, so I was like, whatever, so be it. And I come from a school where everybody thinks that they're better than you to begin with, and I really don't like those type of people, so I just moved on from that as soon as I saw what it was, as soon as I got old enough to realize. And after that, in college, I was alone for a while, for about a year. Literally, like, I didn't have my first year of college. I was in complete monk mode. Didn't have a single friend. Barely talked to my roommate. It was me. It was me and my goals in mind. That was it. And then in my second year, I got involved in the partying and everything, all that type of scene. And from then on, around then was when I dropped out of college, because I really just started to think for a second, is this really what I want to do? And I started to think of college from a different perspective. And right around then was when I dropped out, and then I got involved in more of the goth scene, the emo scene. Like I said, I've been in all types of different friend groups, or whatever you want to call it, and it was never a need, as far as from what I can see. I mean, maybe somebody that knows me might say different, but it was never really from a place of wanting to fit in. I was just trying to find a place where I did fit in, or like people that were like me. And that's what you have to realize at the end of the day, man, to wrap this all up. It's really not about fitting in anywhere, because everybody's different. You're not going to fit in one place. You don't have to limit yourself to one group of people or one set of beliefs. You don't need to fit in anywhere. I fit in so many different places, but I also didn't fit in any of them at the same time. It's a paradox, really. And I'm sure if I could do it, anybody else is capable of really doing the same thing. Fitting in anywhere. So if you really can just fit in anywhere, then what's the point of doing things for the purpose of fitting in to begin with, when anybody can really fit in anywhere they want to at the end of the day, if you set your mind to it. If you really set your mind to it, you can fit in anywhere. So there's no point to live your life trying to fit in, or with the idea in mind of fitting in with a certain group of people, set of values, beliefs, or whatever you have it, because at the end of the day, anybody can fit in anywhere, and nobody fully fits in anywhere at the same time, because everybody is an individual person. Everybody has their own set of experiences and beliefs and truths that are true to them. So at the end of the day, just be yourself, man. Find yourself, find who you truly are, because when you're constantly trying to fit in with everybody, you will never know who you are. You will only know what other people think you are. You have to destroy your ego, that thing you put out to the world for everybody else to see. You have to get rid of that and just find your true self and come to terms with it. Alright, man, that's gonna be the end of this one. Don't try to fit in. There's no need for it. You can really fit in anywhere, and you also don't fit in anywhere at the same time. So what's the point? It's a paradox at the end of the day.